5 days ago, the NFC Championship game ended with one of the worst non-calls in a postseason game that we can ever remember. The Saints had the ball deep in L.A. Rams territory. It was third down, and Tommy Lee Lewis was just wiped out by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Should have been first and goal for the Saints at about the 5-yard line with 1:49 to play, and the Rams having one timeout, and the Saints in position to run the clock down, kick a field goal, and give the Rams very, very limited time on the clock to try to match it or beat it. That has been one of the biggest controversies of the week. There have been developments every day, and through it all, the commissioner has been silent. Ben Watson, one of the most respected players in the National Football League, a member of the New Orleans Saints, posted this statement yesterday on Twitter. Commissioner Goodell, we all realize that football is an imperfect game, played, coached, and officiated by imperfect people. What occurred last Sunday in New Orleans, though, was outside of that expected and accepted norm. Your continued silence on this matter is unbecoming of the position you hold, detrimental to the integrity of the game, and disrespectful and dismissive to football fans everywhere. From the locker room to Park Avenue, accountability is what makes our league great. Lead by example. We are waiting. Ben Watson, Saints tight end, saying what a lot of Saints fans and other fans, media, and observers are thinking. Where is Roger Goodell? Tom Curran, who's going to join us coming up here in about 10 minutes to talk Patriots, he calls Roger Goodell the highest paid pincushion in the world because Goodell is there to take the flack that otherwise would go to the owners. In this case, though, it's a siege mentality again at 345 Park Avenue, the kind of thing we first saw with the Ray Rice case back in 2014. So the commissioner, who spoke somewhat extensively in the Rice case, he had that press conference and maybe it didn't go all that well. And I think they've realized, you know what? There's a chance that whatever he says may make it worse, so let's just have him say nothing. And there is a sensitivity, the way I understand it. There was a willingness on Sunday night to come out and acknowledge the error, and privately they've admitted it. Privately, the NFL has communicated to the Saints that, yes, they screwed it up. It's one thing to admit it privately. It's another thing to admit it publicly, because then you admit it publicly, and what happens? The Rams are delegitimized as Super Bowl participants. So there was a thought at one point they were going to mention in this statement, well, we got the non-call wrong as it relates to pass interference, but we also missed a face mask that was committed against Jared Goff in the prior drive, so it kind of evens out. They decided not to do that. They've just decided to do nothing. Now, they leaked to some reporters the idea that there would be potential solutions via expansion of replay review, but in the aftermath of that, you had a bunch of people on the record connected to the league, including Competition Committee Chairman Rich McKay, saying that won't work. So where are we 5 days later? We're nowhere. We're back to where we started, and I think the league at this point just hopes it all goes away, that they get a hard reset going into Super Bowl week. But the problem is one of the Super Bowl contenders is the team that benefited from that bad non-call. So whenever the commissioner has his press conference, it used to be on Friday when maximum media was in the Super Bowl city. They have now moved it back to Wednesday. They've done that for several years now. And the stated reason is they don't want the commissioner's press conference to overshadow the run-up to the Super Bowl. The reality is you've got far fewer people in the media who are there earlier in the week. So Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern is when the commissioner will be speaking. And what someone needs to do, and this is not an easy thing to do. I made the analogy earlier in the program to the One Ring, and I know that's an extremely nerdy reference, and I apologize in advance, but let me tell you, when you get that one ring in your hand and you're standing in Mount Doom over the fires and you got to throw it in there and destroy it, right, good luck doing it. Because when you get that microphone in your hand at the commissioner's press conference, even if you have it scripted out, a very concise and narrow question that puts the commissioner on the spot, puts him in a position where all he can say is yes or no, you're going to end up instead asking a question with a 45-second preamble that has 5 parts to it because you got that microphone in your hand. And the last thing you're doing is throwing that thing into the fires of Mount Doom. And I've been there. I can relate. And every year it happens. So someone in that, if they happen to give the microphone to someone that may ask the question, because let me tell you, that microphone is going to get selectively passed around to people who will never ask the question. If it ends up in the hands of someone who may ask the question, we'll see if that person manages to pull the sword out of the stone and ask the direct question and get a direct answer, a non-evasive answer, a real answer, an honest answer about whether or not there was an error and what the league will do moving forward to improve the situation.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.